Dear viewers and subscribers, let me recap on what we have learned and explained in last session. The topic was Azure App Service apart from hosting functions, where we discuss Azure App Service is an HTTP-based service for hosting web application, REST APIs, and mobile backends. You can develop in your favorite language like .NET, Java, Node.js, PHP, or Python as well. Application run and scale with ease of both Windows and Linux environment.
Okay, guys, what is virtual network? It's a definition. Azure Virtual Network is a service that provides the fundamental building block for your private network in Azure. An instance of the service, a virtual network, enables many types of Azure resources to securely communicate with each other. The internet and on premises networks, these Azure resources include virtual machines as well. So let's have a video to more get understanding.
Managing a distributed network infrastructure that's organized, dependable, and secure can be challenging. Azure Virtual Networks offer a solution for organizing, securing, and connecting cloud resources seamlessly. An Azure Virtual Network, VNet, is a secure, isolated network environment in the Azure cloud, allowing you to create and manage virtual machines, services, and resources in a logically isolated network. Imagine two virtual machines in Azure, one hosting a web application and another hosting a database, and you want them to communicate securely and efficiently. By creating a virtual network, the web application can send requests to the database server and receive responses, all while maintaining a secure connection and minimizing latency, ensuring your website runs smoothly and securely. You can also use a virtual network to host a web application and a database server in different subnets. A subnet is a smaller network within a larger one. The web application and database server can exchange data within the same virtual network, but you can also control the traffic flow to the subnets with security rules. This allows only public internet traffic to access the web application, while database servers are protected within private subnets, allowing only internal traffic. Virtual networks also enable connecting an on-premises network to Azure using a VPN gateway, creating a private tunnel between your office and the cloud. Traffic routed through the tunnel is encrypted and provides secure access to resources. When creating a virtual network in Azure, you define subnets, security groups, routing tables, and other network connectivity needs. You can also attach resources like virtual machines, load balancers, and storage accounts to the virtual network, allowing you to build a secure, reliable, and scalable virtual network environment for your unique needs. Azure Virtual Networks securely connect cloud resources, VMs, web apps, databases, and on-premises networks to help you achieve your goals.
So today we will be discussing Azure Virtual Networks. Let's discuss what is Azure Virtual Network. Actually, Azure Virtual Networks and virtual subnets enable Azure resources such as VMs, web apps, and databases to communicate with each other, with users on the internet, and with your on-premises client computers, right? You can think of an Azure network as an extension of your on-premises network with resources that link other Azure resources. As you can see in the diagram, we have VNet A, I mean virtual network A, VNet B, and also in right bottom corner to on-premises, right? To communicate on premises, we definitely use kind of gateway and a NET or VPN gateway, whatever your requirement. And we also have two different subnet with the VNet B and VNet. It is similar to virtual private network we have discussed in our cloud practitioner Amazon certificate. It is the same concept, but might be some different features available by Azure. So there is only kind of usability and understanding level and usage level. According to the cloud, it is either Azure, Google Cloud Platform, or Amazon. Okay, so actual requirements are same. Actual uh, theme is same. Uh, so the options and name of resources and way of to accomplish those requirements or complete those jobs might be slightly different. Okay, now let me explain some key network capabilities by Azure, and these are isolation and segmentation, internet communication, communicate between Azure resources, communicate with on-premises resources, route network traffic, filter network traffic, connect virtual networks. So let me elaborate one by one. What is isolation and segmentation? Azure Network Net allows you to create multiple isolated virtual networks, okay, where you can more than one network. Each network have number of resources according to your requirements. When you set up a virtual network, you define a private IP address space by using either public or private address ranges. Okay, the IP range only exists within the virtual network and is not internet routable. You can divide that IP address space into subnets and allocate part of the defined address space to each named subnet. Okay. For more resolution, you can use name resolution service, but built into Azure. You also can configure the virtual network to use either an internal or external DNS server. This is isolation. It's mean you can isolate all your private network from other, and you can configure and set some networking internal communication with private IP, and you can use some kind of gateway. So let's discuss internet communication. How do we internet communication when we go for virtual network? You can enable incoming connection from the internet by assigning a public IP address to an Azure resource or putting the resource behind the public load balancer. It's saying that you can also whitelist public IP, and any request on that public IP can communicate to your resources assigned to only those communication within public IP. You can use some kind of load balancer. Okay. So third is communicate between Azure resources. How Azure help us to communicate internal with Azure resources are either way. You want to enable Azure resource to communicate securely with each other. You can do that in one or two ways. Virtual network can connect not only VM but other Azure resources such as app service environment for Power Apps, Azure Kubernetes Service, and Azure Virtual Machine scale sets. As we have already covered in previous set in few part last in scale sets, virtual machine scale sets. Services endpoints can connect to each other Azure resource types such as Azure SQL database and storage accounts. This approach enables you to link multiple Azure resources to virtual network to improve security and provide optimal routing between resources. Okay. Fourth one is communicate with on-premises resources. Let's suppose you have virtual network, even it is public or private on cloud, and you need to communicate with your on-premises resources. So, how can it can be done? Let me explain. Azure Network enable you to link resource together in your on-premises environment and within your Azure subscription. In effect, you can create a network that spans both your local and cloud environment. There are three mechanisms for you to achieve this connectivity. You can establish point to site virtual network, okay, which is in this case the client computer initiates an encrypted VPN connection to connect the Azure virtual network. Second is site to site virtual private networks. This network link your on-premises VPN device or gateway to Azure VPN gateway in a virtual network. In effect, the devices in Azure can appear as being on the local network. Okay, the connection is encrypted and works over the internet. Third way to communicate with on-premises resources is Azure Express Route. Provides a dedicated private connectivity to Azure that does not travel over the internet. Express Route is useful for environments where you need greater bandwidth and even higher levels of security. Okay, fifth one is route traffic, network traffic, right? By default, as you route traffic between subnets on any connected virtual networks, on-premises network, and the internet, you also can control routing and override those settings as follows. Route tables allow you to define rules about how traffic should be directed. You can create custom route tables that control how packets are routed between subnets. Second way is Border Gateway Protocol (BGP) works with Azure VPN Gateway, Azure Route Server or Azure Express Route to propagate on-premises Border Gateway Protocol routes to Azure virtual networks. Okay, the sixth one is filter network traffic. Azure Virtual Networks enables you to filter traffic between subnets by using following approaches. First approach is network security groups are Azure resources that can contain multiple inbound and outbound security rules. You can define these rules to allow or block traffic. Okay, based on factors such as resource and destination IP address, port, and protocol. Second way is to filter traffic network. You can filter traffic network. Virtual appliances are specialized VMs that can be compared to a hardened network appliance. A network virtual appliance carries out a particular network function such as running a firewall or performing wide range of network WAN optimization. Okay, sixth and last one is you can link virtual networks together by using virtual network peering. Peering allows two virtual networks to connect directly to each other. Network traffic between paired networks is private and travels on the Microsoft backbone network, never entering the public internet. Pairing enables resources is each virtual network to communicate with each other. Okay, these virtual networks can be separate regions. This features allows you to create a global interconnected network through Azure. User-defined routers UDR allow you to control the routing tables between subnets within a virtual network or between virtual networks. This allows for greater control over network traffic flow.
So, guys, note this very important. To move a virtual machine from one virtual network to another, you must delete and recreate that virtual machine in the new virtual network, right? Virtual machines disks can be retained for use in the new virtual machine. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. In this part, we have discussed about virtual networking, and in next section, in next part, we will be having a practical example where I will show you how to configure network and how to make the communication between different resources of virtual network. So please stay connected and make sure you are available in next video, and so that you can see how we can create and configure virtual network in next video, part 11. Thank you. Bye.